I always forget to do this. So let me go ahead and go around the actual room before I go in the virtual room. Agent Sabota.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I think I probably know almost all of you, I'm guessing, on the call of the meeting. Just happy to be here. Just want to remind everybody about the March PAC meeting, the parole and community team meeting on March 9th coming up. It will be virtual in March, and then fingers crossed, we're hoping that our April meeting will be back in person. Pretty sure that's going to happen in April, but the March meeting will be virtual, and I'm almost positive at the end of this meeting, I think Megan has the flyer. She'll give it up. So nice seeing everybody. Nice to be here in person. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Danny?
My name's Danny Lansdale. I'm the founder of Standing United. We help people that need help. You know, either getting out of prisons or jails or the homeless population. Just basically, we really focus on the people that have absolutely nothing. You know, like no insurance, everyone gave up on them, and then we strategize and put together a game plan for them to be able to go from zero to hero.
Yeah.
And we know they need detox, they need programs, if they need housing, whatever they need, we will carry them until the goal is met, and that's that they're self-supporting.
Awesome, thank you. We got to go inside earlier this month, right?
Woo! We went into the jails. We did. We carried a message. Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we actually were in the Humvee pod. So that was a really great experience. It was a very almost emotional for you, right?
Yeah, it was very surreal. Like it was like I didn't know whether to be excited or like I don't know. It was very awesome. I look forward to more of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for donating your time. Lexi.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lexi. I also work with Standing United. Danny kind of just told you guys what we do, but yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, thank you. So I will kick it over to Derek Morris. Hi, sir.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Derek Morris. I'm from the Butte County Office of Education Back to Work program. We are part of the Clean California Initiative, working alongside with Caltrans, offering state employment and training, working with veterans and individuals who are justice involved, probation, parole, to get them lined up for state employment. Like I said, we're currently part of the Clean California Initiative, where we have 82 new work crews out. So if you have individuals who are interested in working for the state, or who are just interested in work at all, to to up their resume and get these skills. We do have new programs. We work with subcontractors in Orange County. We're currently working with Chrysalis and Orange County Conservation Corps. And so we are currently offering employment opportunities and training opportunities. If you have participants who are interested, my information will be in the chat. I thank you all very much. I appreciate being here.
Awesome, thank you, Derek. It's good to see you. I remember you from LA Cap, so it's almost kind of a trip to see you in the Orange County Cap the last couple of months, but I'm so glad that you're here and representing your organization. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Listen, I'm only going to be for a little while because they got me traveling, so I'm in San Diego. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm just going to stay for a little while. But so I'll be leaving a little bit early. Okay.
Glad you can make it anyways.
Thank you.
Let me go to Miss Lori Friedman.
Hi, all. My name is Lori Friedman, and I work with Family Financial Management, and I'm here to be a resource for you for everything financial. And I do have access now to, excuse me, secure credit cards. So if a client or if you're looking to rebuild your credit, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the chat, and I'd be glad to help out and answer any questions that you may have about anything financial. Thanks a lot. Hope you guys are having a great day.
Awesome, thank you, Lori. Next, I will go to Adriana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adriana Garcia. I am a outreach and engagement specialist at the Priority Center. Basically, a little bit about what we do. We offer short-term case management. So if somebody needs a resource like food assistance, rent assistance, really anything at all, we can help connect them to that at no cost, as well as offer short-term mental health counseling. And we also provide educational webinars. For COVID right now, our services are virtual, so that it will either be over Zoom or phone, but just with the pending changes, it just depends on how the pandemic is going. But yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Let me go to Alejandro Lopez.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Alejandro Lopez. I am a career coach at Families Forward. And Araceli, my coworker here, she's going to be the one doing, I think, the presentation today. So I'll let her, I won't take any of the information in case I don't mess it up for her.
All right, well then we'll kick it over to Araceli just to introduce herself briefly.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Super excited to be here, jotting down as much of your information as I can. Great resources and contacts to make here. I'm excited. But I am one of the career coaches here. I will be presenting a tidbit, but Luis will be taking the majority of it, Luis Gonzalez. So can we kick it over to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, hi everyone. Good morning. So my name is Luis, and I am the Community Resource Coordinator here at Families Forward. And what I do is I work in networking with various other external stakeholders, trying to create partnerships in the community, just trying to expand resources, and just trying to get all of the information for our team here. We work with homeless families that have children 0 to 17, and we offer various program services. But I believe we'll continue with the intros, and then later on, that's when I'll present.
Yes, thank you. All right, I see Dini. Deidre, I see you. Want to introduce yourself?
Oh, okay, me, sorry. So, hello everyone, I'm Deidre Bowles with Open Gate International. This is Josue, and we are actually currently in the Orange County Juvenile Facility as we speak, because I run a culinary program inside here, and so we have class today, so I stepped away for a few minutes just to join you guys, because I haven't been on the meeting for a while. But yeah, so basically we started Open Gate International in 2017. So we've been running programs for vulnerable groups in Orange County. And then after COVID, we kind of had to make some shifts because the industry shifted in culinary arts. And so we found that there was a great need to try to basically prepare young men who are getting ready to have an opportunity to reintegrate into society. We have an opportunity to train them, and then I'm getting ready to open a restaurant in a couple of weeks that will hold placement for this particular population at my restaurant. So we have an opportunity to train them in advance and then hire them there. And I also wanted to just put that out there to any of you, if you have individuals that you work with that are looking for work in culinary arts. My restaurant, La Dominicana, is Dominican food, is getting ready to open soon, and we are hiring like lots of people. So I was getting ready to put my information in the chat, and you guys can reach out to me if you have anybody that you think could use a job in the industry. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what we're doing here. But my whole goal is to go after recidivism and try to help these young men get prepared to get out properly, and then help them along their way once they're out.
Awesome, thank you, Deidre. Do you want to have your introduce himself? I saw him as well.
Right.
What's up, y'all?
Oh, he been in over.
Wait, can y'all hear me?
A little
Can you guys
hard.
hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, I'm Sway. I started working with Deidre recently, coming into juvenile hall. Kind of mentoring, some of the currently incarcerated young men. But I've been a community organizer for about 3 years. I've worked with several nonprofits, kind of within the realm of reentry, mentoring, formerly incarcerated young men. And so I'm a student organizer, community-based organizer. I've navigated reentry myself, and so that's kind of how I got into this line of work. So yeah, I'm kind of here to support DJ's work, but also kind of I do work alongside Underground Grid as well, another community-based organization that works with a lot of youth, transitional age youth coming back into Orange County from post-incarceration. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you, Sway. Thank you, Dee. Hope you can stay on for as long as you can. I know you're inside, so appreciate you logging on. Next, I'll go to Melody.
Hi, Megan. I'm Melody Cantrell. I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Department, and I supervise the reentry, rehabilitation, education, and any volunteer service programs that go on at the Theo Lacey Jail Facility.
Awesome, thank you. And you're our coordinator. You help us get inside, so I really appreciate you assisting us being able to come inside and spread the message of hope, right, Danny?
Yes. Yes.
So thank you. I'll see you later today.
Okay.
Next, Belle, our last month's ROI speaker. Thank you, Belle.
Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. My name is Bell Taulua, and I'm a member of the FO movement. We are an organization, a new organization. Next month will be our first year. And we're just a bunch of brothers from the streets. A bunch of us has done time in prison, but we've turned our lives around and we're trying to create things now. We're working with the community. We have 3 programs we're trying to create. Youth outreach, recovery, and reentry. I'm in charge of reentry, and that's why I'm here today, learning and continue to connect. And so if you can help me, I'm here. That's why I'm here, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Belle. Chelsea, good to see you.
Good morning, Megan. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chelsea Gordon. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with Twin Town Treatment Centers. We are a PHP IOP for substance use disorders. We do have 6 locations, and 3 of them is in Orange County. We have services for both adolescents as well as adults. We are in network, so we're contracted with everyone. And we also work with Cal Optima Medi-Cal. We do work with a lot of the justice involved population, probation, judges, courts, parole, and what have you. And we do have a high success rate with that population on an IOP level. My information is in the chat. I will have to jump off early as well too, but I'm truly grateful to be here and see you guys again. Thanks, Megan.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Brenda.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda, and I am the Outreach and Enrollment Specialist for our reentry program here at Working Wardrobes. Our program assists those who have been formerly incarcerated or justice involved with workforce readiness skills. We provide resume reviews, mock interviews, and provide interview clothing, as well as any training that the client desires, whether that be CPR training, forklift training. That's something that we can pay for as well. As far as COVID goes, our office is still open. We have our job search lab open to clients every day of the week, from 10 a.m. to 4, I believe. And we also have workshops that will remain on Zoom, and that's for anyone to join, regardless if they're enrolled in our program or not. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Brenda. Dominic, good to see you, sir.
Hey, good morning, Megan. Good morning, everyone. Dominic Mexico, Orange County Sheriff's Department, Inmate Services Division. And we're here in more of a supportive role to support Megan and the OC-CAP family, and just let everyone know that we're supportive of the services you're providing, and any way we can assist you and your clients, just let us know.
Awesome, thank you. And you and your team are doing a great job. Thank you so much. Renita, hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Hi, Megan. It's Renata. No problem. I get it all the time. Thank you so much for adding me, and my coworker Cheryl, who she will gladly tell you all that we do. But real quickly, I'm from the Public Defender's Office. I'm a social worker. Specifically, we work with in-custody patients, in-custody clients, and we do re-entry services. We link them to drug treatment, basically anything that they need to integrate them back into society. And we work a lot with Melody. Hi, Melody. Cheryl, if you want to tell them a little bit more about what we do.
Awesome, take it over to her next then.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Cheryl. Piggybacking off of Renata, basically what we try to do for our clients is to reduce recidivism. We do everything for getting them an ID, birth certificate, social security card. We make sure, push, scream, yell for them to go check in at probation. What we try to do is make a link while they are still incarcerated, establish that trust, and just see what we can do to push them into a life different than what they were doing before. What else? I don't know. I'm very happy to see all of this information, because when we started this, we had a book from, was it 2015, completely outdated. And Renata and I have kind of built this. So if you guys need any help, let us know, because we're really happy to help and be part of this. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. Happy to have you here and happy to have you learn more about the services and programs that are out there. I will go to Beatrice.
Good morning, everyone. My team went a little earlier. My name is Beatrice Rojas. I am the career coach here at Families Forward. I'm excited to be part of this meeting, get to know all of you, getting these great resources, and just receiving all this good energy that I'm hearing from everyone. I'm in a good mood today, so hope you're having a good week.
Awesome, love that. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, I see Carol's joining the meeting. Carol Yuri.
Good morning, everyone. Apologize for not having a picture here. Apologize for being late. And again, I am extremely happy to be part of your group today. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Carol. Christine.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Megan, for your assistance and getting me here and inviting me. I really appreciate it. I'm Christine Silvestre. I'm with CLO, and we are a nonprofit organization that serves underserved and under-resourced entrepreneurs, whether they're aspiring or existing small businesses. We help support them with all free services to help them get to business launch. And we specifically focus on our underrepresented community members. And I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you so much, Megan, for having me here.
Of course, thanks for joining us. Let me go to Henry with ADD.
Yes, good morning, Megan, and good morning, everybody. My name is Henry Cabrera. I work as a employment program representative, business services lead, and also outreach and marketing for the YOP program. And basically what we do here is we connect businesses with job seekers, and that obviously also includes the justice involved population. So we're more than willing to assist them. We welcome anybody to visit our resource center in the Santa Ana office. We're literally across the street from the courthouse. That is part of it. We also cater to the YOP program, the Youth Employment Opportunity Program. This program is basically cater to help at-risk kids between the ages of 15 to 25. We do peer advising, referrals to supportive services, education and career coaching. We do a lot of workshops. So that's what we do. And if you're interested in more information, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Jenilyn.
Hi, everyone. Jenilyn Santos with Chrysalis. So we're a nonprofit agency that is focused on helping individuals in addressing their barriers to employment through one-on-one support and resources. There's a variety of them, so I won't talk your ear off, but I do have to hop off the meeting a little early today because I have a presentation. But I did want to share, I think I shared this before, but we are growing our roads program. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard my spiel on our roads program in partnership with Caltrans and Butte County Office of Education. But we are having this event where we are helping our clients kind of go through the process faster so they can get into our roads program quicker and doing highway maintenance with Caltrans. So I do have a few dates. Sorry, I literally just had the flyer. There we go. So the first one that we're going to have is on March 8th. So it'll be at our Anaheim office in person. So individuals that are interested in participating in our roads program can come and sign up and get some job readiness assistance as well that day and meet with an employment specialist just to kind of make it more accessible for individuals. So if you have any questions on that, I will have a flyer hopefully by the end of today that is approved. I have one, it's not approved yet, so I don't want to get in trouble for that. So yeah, I'm not getting in trouble this week. It just started. Yeah, I'm usually really excited and happy to hand out those flyers beforehand, but I promise I'll get you guys one soon. So if you're not on my email list, shoot me an email. I did put mine in the chat so that you can get that as well. But thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Hopefully you get it today so that way I can include it in the recap email so everyone has it. Well,
definitely. Thank
crossed.
you.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yes, fingers crossed.
All right. So a few more people that we need to get to, and then we will move on to hearing our ROI speaker, Ellie. So Kevin, I saw you pop on.
Yes, good morning. So sorry I was in late. I've been running around. So good morning, everybody. My name is Kevin. I'm from Hope Builders. If you don't know who we are or what we do, we provide young adults of ages 18 to 28 to career opportunities. We offer construction, medical assisting, and behavioral therapy. So a short-term career, 3 months or 5 months to complete. Programs are starting really soon. Our healthcare programs are starting next month and on April. And then we are also going to be having a preview night where we showcase what people will be learning in the program. So we're inviting all our partner agencies, all people interested in the programs, literally anybody that wants to check out what Hope Builders is and how the program works, and have like a live demonstration on our healthcare programs as well. We will be having one for our construction program as well, all until April though, but I'll talk about that one next month. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and put my information down in the chat in case you want to get to reach out to me so you can sign up for it. But yeah, thank you.
Kevin, do you have a flyer for that or the link to sign up for that as well?
Yes, I have both.
Okay, if you can put that in the chat as well, so that way I make sure I include it in our recap email.
I will.
Awesome, thank you, Kevin. Yanira.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Janita Perez with Moms Orange County. At Moms Orange County, we serve pregnant women and their families. So we work with fathers and children. So we provide one-on-one case management, education, and resources. We have a class it's a boot camp for veteran dads to teach the rookie dads on how to parent, everything from bathing the baby to positive parenting. And we also have a men's group, which is a support group where men come together as fathers and talk about anxiety, isolation, grief, loss, anything that they want to discuss, to build community amongst the fathers and also networking. So if you have a father that's in need of our services or just support in parenting, please send them our way. We'll be happy to serve them. I'll go ahead and share my information in the chat. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, Lisa.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm happy to be here today. My name is Lisa Nomura. I am a facilitator for women's empowerment, working together with the The adult programs, Department of Parole. And I'm very happy to be here also too. I'm one of the organizing members of the Freedom Fest, and we're looking forward to seeing the Freedom Fest in Orange County grow, and for the second annual one this year. And let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. More things coming, more to be revealed.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Lisa. Okay, Ellie, long awaited. We're so happy to have you here, and blessed to have you share your story. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? There you go. I see you.
Hi, Megan. Hi, everybody. My name is Ellie Lafiti, and basically, I'm just really honored that Megan even invited me, and Angela and Lisa. I was incarcerated for 27 years on a 19 to life sentence, and I paroled May 4th, 2020. So at this moment in time, I'm just trying to be of service to my community and my society.
Thank you, Ellie. Do you want to go ahead and go into telling us, a little bit about your story, about how you grew up, how you became justice involved, what led you to turn your life around, and then any programs that helped you, and then kind of what your future plans and goals are?
Yes, thank you. I grew up basically in a 2-parent home. My little brother and sister were the ones that I had to take care of. As a Samoan child, I didn't have a normal childhood. I get emotional talking about it because it's a big part of my growing up, and I still am healing from that. My mom, she did a lot of pills. And so it kind of like overtook her. She had her own mental issues that she was dealing with. And as a 9-year-old, I took care of my brother and sister and the household from there on. So I was basically the parent at 9 years old, cooking and cleaning. And my dad was an alcoholic. And I used to see a whole lot of abuse in the family. And growing up, I dealt with a whole lot of abuse physically, mentally, emotionally. I was molested by two cousins and an uncle, and it was repetitive until I hit 13 to where I could start swinging, fighting back. And growing up in an alcoholic environment, I always had to make sure that my brother and sister were okay. So, like I said, I never had the normal childhood. Church, because Samoans are really strong in their religion. And regardless if you want to go or not, you're going to go. So church also became, it's where I got hurt physically as well. Because there were people, deacons in the church that did their molestation, committed that act. And growing up, I thought all of that was normal because when I talked to my mom about it, she had basically told me, shut up, and it was my fault. That was something that we didn't talk about, so I kept all of that hidden. I grew up in that environment. So everything was my fault. And I believe that. That was a system that I accepted. So I ended up always trying to make sure that I people please. And being justice involved, like I said, I grew up in abuse. There was constant relationship issues between my parents, and my mother would constantly take us to the streets to look for my dad because he was always out there cheating. And it was never the other girls. It was never my dad's fault. It was always the other girl's fault. So we constantly had to fight, jump in. Being the oldest, I constantly had to get in there and fight with my mom because in her mind, it was the other girl's fault and she's just trying to protect her family. And growing up, I got involved in my own abusive relationships. And I thought that I accepted the fact that it was the other girl's fault. She made him do it, you know? So there goes my physical abuse coming through. I started fighting a whole lot more. Never once even thinking that it was his fault, but that's the conditioning we go through when we don't know any better. For me, growing up, that was normal. I had to do everything I had to do to protect my family at that point in time. So my kid's father, the girl that he was messing with, came to my home. And when that happened, I got into an argument with her and her two friends. And I automatically went and got the gun, came out, and I fired the gun. And the bullet hit Tracy McNeil, who ended up dying at the hospital. When I shot that gun, never once did I think that somebody was going to get hurt. Never once did I care at that moment in time. But that's how deep I was into my thought process of blaming people. I ended up getting served 19 to life. That was what I was sentenced to. And I was pregnant at that time. So I had my son in county jail. And at that point in time, I was still blaming people. I blamed my kid's father. I blamed my victim, Miss Tracy McNeil. And I blamed everybody else, never once taking accountability for my own actions. Even after I had my son and they came and took him, I blamed everybody else. So I was still angry at that moment in time. When I got sentenced to 19 to life, I was kind of shocked because I didn't think that I was going to get life because, you know, I was still in that blaming game. So I went to CCWF, Chowchilla. I got there and the first person I met was a lifer. And what she told, when she found out that I was a lifer, she had basically just straight out told me, baby, this is where you're gonna die. So just live your best life. And as a 23-year-old, for somebody to tell me that, and that person had been down 30 years, all rays of hope were gone. I didn't see nothing else. Because I'm looking at somebody who spent 30 years in this place. And she's telling me there's no hope. You're gonna die here. So I started getting involved in everything that was so negative. I started getting involved in selling drugs in prison. And you know what? I felt so much control in there because whoever has the bag runs the prison. And as a 23-year-old, it felt good to have that power. So I proceeded on with my negativity, not once caring about who I was hurting, how I was hurting him, and who I affected in the long run. Because in me dealing drugs in prison, these women are getting addicted. And what I'm doing is keeping them from focusing up on getting their life together, going home to their kids who are needing them. But I didn't care at that moment in time. It was just to meet my needs. I started getting involved in groups. But I did it at that moment in time because that's what the board was looking for. And people would tell me, you need these programs because board requires it. So I did it to make it look good for the board. As I started getting involved in more groups and more groups, I started hearing the stories. And I'm hearing the stories and the stories about molestation. I'm embarrassed by my own molestation, so I never spoke on it. I'm ashamed. I never said nothing. I just sat there and tried to play so hardcore, like, oh, I'm just here because it's for the board. as I started listening to the women even more, these are women in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are talking about these issues that happened to them as they were 4, 5, 6, 10 years old. And I'm seeing the pain in their eyes, and I'm seeing the pain in I'm hearing the pain in their voice, and it's my pain. So I started listening even more because they're talking about me. And then one day, Dr. White, who was our facilitator at that time, she pulled me and she called me out on just being there. She says, you can't run forever. One day you got to sit in that. And once you sit in that and face that, you'll be ready to talk about it. So I went to group the next day and she called on me. And at that moment in time, I looked at her like, wow, like she had did something against me. But the question she asked was basically, what are you doing here? And I had to think about my answer because I started thinking about the ladies and everything they were going through. So I told her, I'm here to try and figure me out. And as I started figuring me out, I started realizing that I was still that 4-year-old little girl trying to figure out why my mom didn't believe me when I told her, trying to understand why my uncle and his 2 sons were touching on me, and trying to figure out why when I went to church, these men who I'm supposed to trust, who are supposed to take care of me, were touching me. As I started getting involved in Dr. White's group, I started opening up myself to whatever was coming my way, whatever healing was gonna open up for me. And as I listened to the ladies express themselves, I realized that I wasn't alone. I didn't have to carry that anymore. I had a choice. That was the start of me figuring out that I needed to work on me. Forget everybody else and what they're going through and what I'm blaming them on. I had to work on me. That was one group. But you know, I was still straddling the fence within prison. I was still trying to sell dope here and then work on myself here. The reality of it is you can't do both. You have to pick one and stay there. For me, I chose to live. I chose to get my life together. I chose to figure out and heal. I started getting involved in anger management groups. I started getting involved in domestic violence groups. And each one of those groups had the same component for me. Figure me out. Start healing from within. Stop blaming. And what I really, really learned the most is I always had a choice. And that's what started my path towards just getting my life together. I stopped selling dope because, like I said, you can't straddle the fence. I stopped selling dope. I stopped getting involved in all of that. Mind you, this was like 20 something years later. But I stopped doing all that because I realized that life, I wanted to be parole. I wanted to be free. I didn't want to die in prison. As I saw one of our in Samoan, we call them usos, but it means our sister. I saw one of our sisters parole, and she was a lifer. There goes that glimmer of hope, sparkling even more. And it's like she told me as she was walking out the gates, you helped everybody else go home. You're pushing everybody else out that gate. Why can't you see that freedom for yourself? And it stuck with me, it resonated. So I started getting involved in more groups. And like I said, domestic violence groups, I became a facilitator for it. And that Stephanie Covington's group, Beyond Violence, the family dynamics, was what really helped me grow even more and learn my role in the family and what I was really doing. It helped me figure out and how to learn the shape that I was involved in. And I realized then that I wanted a family environment, but it doesn't have to be a dysfunctional family environment. To this day, even after paroling, I still walk with everything that I've learned within my groups. I don't want to harm anybody no more. I want to heal. And coming out here, I brought some of the thought processes that I had in there when I started seeing all my sisters keep going in and out of the system. So I came out here with the thought process to open up a transition program for women, because when I came out here, there were none for me. I had to know somebody who knew somebody who got me involved into this program called Homecoming Project. And by the grace of God, I knew the right people to get me into this program, or else I would have been homeless. I would have been in a shelter. They don't have any programs for women like that. So that strengthened my thought process even more to get a home going, a transition program going, to help the women re-enter back into society successfully. With all the steps that the mistakes that were happening to me, I want to make sure that the women don't have to go through that. So I opened up, I'm the founder of She Bliss Transitions, BLISS, Transitions Program. And within this program, I want to make sure that the women come out here knowing that they have a roof over their head and a support system that will help them in every step of the way. I never knew nothing about credit. I didn't even realize how important credit was. It's more important than cash. But I had to learn that process. And by learning that process, I found out that my sister and anybody else in my family had used my name. So I was all messed up. I came out here owing companies, but I wasn't out here. So I had to go through the process of getting that fixed. I want to make sure that with the women coming up out of prison, that they get the help they need. And I have all the experience in the world to teach them, because I'm still going through procedures. I'm still learning the process. And I'm just, every day is a healing process. Today, I learned to think before I react. I learned to think before I speak. I learned to think about the environment around me. Once you've been involved in that criminal-minded thought process, it's so easy to spot when criminal activities are going on or when they're about to happen, and get yourself up out of there. Today, I try to surround myself with people that are positive, because at no point in time will I ever want to go back into prison in handcuffs. If I do go back into prison, it'll be because I want to go speak. I want to go help my sisters in there that are blinded as I was. I want to be an example of what is good out here for them. So today, I'm really just excited. I'm excited about life. I'm excited about this. And I thank you, Megan, for allowing me to be in this arena with everybody.
Thank you so much, Ellie, for sharing your heartfelt story. You were very raw and real, and you can feel it, right? We all can feel it in this virtual and in-person room. And you know, you're very brave to tell your story. It's not something that's easy, but you've learned that, and you can hear that. And the passion that you have for wanting to help your sisters and just individuals in general comes through in your story, comes through like I can just feel it with your energy. And you know, the fact that you're giving back is amazing, because that's going to keep you from going back, right? Unless it's there, like you said, to help them, to give them a voice, to give them hope. So I really appreciate you sharing your story. My words are not enough. Does anybody else want to share anything, ask any questions? Jennifer.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know, I think probably at least half the people on this call today know that Ellie was our amazing MC at the Freedom Festival in October. Hopefully, Ellie, you'll be back this coming year for our Freedom Festival that we'll have again this fall. We loved having you. You were just as amazing today as you were that day. You're always amazing. And I just want to say really, really briefly, thank you for sharing your story. I love interacting with you in whatever forum it is. I always get a lot more out of it than you probably even know. But I love the fact that you talk about your victims so much. I think that's really, really powerful. I just really appreciate you doing that. I just think it speaks volumes about you as a human being. And thank you. Lovely seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Danny.
Ellie, what an amazing, like, what a heroic, epic, tragic, but also victorious story. Like, that is so freaking awesome. Just to see, because me too, I was incarcerated for years and years and years. I wasn't a lifer. I got out almost 15 years in. And just to see the turnaround and the transformation's real. And it's about like finding the light, and then also just helping other people. I mean, our heart heals when we help other people's hearts heal. You know, and to see you doing that, you start a foundation and you're helping women and you're showing them it's not a wrap, that we can have a new life. And I just appreciate you. Gave me goosebumps a bunch of times. And just what an amazing deal we got. I'm gonna get your contact and we're gonna do some stuff, okay? We're gonna do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna help some people. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, heck yeah. God bless. Okay.
Thank you. Cheryl.
You too.
Ellie, thank you so much for sharing. When you were talking about your lifestyle, girl, I got that. The whole PI, Samoan. I want to see, because I'm in Long Beach, I want to see if you can come and talk to some of my ladies. I do a little bit of a, middle school to high school, and everything that you were talking about, that's what the ladies are going through, First generation, they're just trying to figure it out. The streets gobbled them up. And it would be amazing if you could come and talk to those ladies. They would really relate to you. And thank you so much for sharing. I know it was hard, but you got this, girl.
Thank you.
Hi, Ellie, you are my sister. We were together behind that fence, behind the wall together. And many people always spoke of both of us, that we walked
we walked shoulder to shoulder and that we lived our lives for our community in much the same way. And I heard about you even before we had ended up in the same institution. And sure enough, we sure did. We were kindred spirits at Usos for sure. And to be out here and to be working together with you is such an honor. I'd also like to acknowledge on this panel today is Belle Taulua, myself, and Ellie Lafiti. We are 3 Samoans, and it moves me to emotion for us to sit on this panel. Because we acknowledge today that our people in our Samoan community have been underrepresented in panels like this, and we never knew that we had a voice. And it took us going to prison and finding that voice to come back out to understand that we have something to offer and that our community was dying from the inside out with issues like domestic violence, addiction, gangs, and sexual abuse also. These are the types of things that we're finding voices to speak about today. I want to tell Ellie, I knew that was hard. You have not spoken about molestation in any other venue that you have stood up in front of. You did that here today for the first time, and I want to acknowledge that Ellie has spoke about it, her life in her family, but this is the forum in which she chose to come out. And I want to acknowledge that in this panel. I want to say how much power there is in that. And I want to thank you, Ellie, for doing that, because that is my first time. And I've heard everything you've ever spoken on that you've put out and that you've been invited to. And that just speaks to the to just the bravery that you have, Ellie, and that we have as a people. And it is an honor to be a Samoan woman and a sister to Belle and Ellie, and to be here at this meeting today and represent ourselves and our people.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's very well said, and thank you for having that extra, adding a little extra tidbit. I had no idea that you hadn't shared it before. So I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough, which I know is comfortable is probably not the right word, but being brave enough to share that part of your journey. So thank you, Belle. And then we will.
Yes, I also want to thank my sister Ellie. I met Ellie at the Freedom Festival, and I know about her and I talked to her. And I just want the panel to know how difficult it is for a sister to talk about sexual molestation that happens in the family. It just doesn't happen. And that's why I always stand with her, and she knows that we stand with her, and I'm just proud of her for the work that she's doing. But what she did today is something that Samoan women don't do. And we trying to create a platform to stand with our sisters so this stuff can be done with. There's no more sweeping it under the rug. We got to speak about it. We got to do something about it. And I thank you, Ellie, for doing something about it. So more power to you, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Belle. And if you were here in person, I'd give you a big hug. So I'm giving you a big virtual hug, Ellie. I really appreciate you sharing your story, and I look forward to partnering with you, in the future and supporting you in whatever way I can. And I know that there are others today here that share, my same feeling and wanting to help you succeed in what you're doing, because let's get real here, those who are, incarcerated or justice impacted in any way, they know if you're real, they know if you're fake, right? So they'll know that you're the real deal, and they know that you love, you care for them, and want to see them succeed. So that is how you can truly make positive change. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so I'm gonna send it over to our partners, Family Forward, to give their presentation, and let me stop sharing my screen and giving you guys the opportunity to share your screens. Second here, if you don't already have the ability to. Looks like you can.
Okay, yes, hi. Good morning, everyone. This here is Luis with Families Forward, and I will be presenting. I'll be giving a PowerPoint presentation, and I just want to just say one more time, thank you, Ellie, for sharing such an impactful and inspiring story and a legacy, I'm sure, that you are going to leave behind. So, so much appreciated. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so we here at Families Forward, like I had mentioned earlier, we work with homeless families that have children 0 to 17. Homeless families that are literally homeless, living in a car, living at an abandoned building, at a park, somewhere that's not safe, and that also meets the McKinney-Vento. We also work with families that are on the verge of homelessness. So families that are very low income, or they just don't have the financial means to pay rent. And in order to prevent eviction, we also work with families that, like I said, are on the verge of ending up homeless. So our mission here at Families Forward is we are committed to serving families with our core values, which are dignity, empowerment, accountability, community spirit, and hope. And we also offer our families these services. It's a way to help them lead lives that where they will become self-sufficient. And a lot of that is achieved through our services, which include our housing, our counseling team, education, and other supportive services. So here in Orange County, the issues with housing, it's something where people outside of Orange County, they may not really think of Orange County having a homeless crisis or families that are homeless or experiencing homelessness. But the real issue here in Orange County is that in fact is the case. Here in Orange County, there are a number of homeless families that are being impacted. And there's often a term that's called the invisible homeless, where families don't really ask for help. They are mainly staying in their cars, or they're temporarily staying at a friend's or somebody who they know, but it's something that is not really seen all that often. So we strive to provide all the support, all the services to these invisible families that are coming in, being matched to our agency for services. Here in Orange County, the issue with housing is that roughly there were 28,000 Orange County school-aged children that are homeless or living in unstable housing. To afford renting an apartment here in Orange County, a person would need to make an average of $28.71 an hour to afford a one-bedroom apartment. That just shows that the housing market, or just to rent an apartment here in Orange County, it really does ask a lot of a family that is low income, but is unable to afford renting a one-bedroom apartment. Often what we see is they're sharing an apartment or sharing a house with other families, with other tenants or subtenants, in order to avoid ending up either homeless or having to figure out another housing solution. So the average family is required to work on average, or would need to work on average 105 hours a week just to afford a one-bedroom apartment in Orange County. And like I said, 1 in 5 children are experiencing hunger here in Orange County. And that's roughly 48% of Orange County students that qualify for free and reduced price lunch. Our core services at Families Forward are the following. We have a housing program, which consists of the affordable housing, the rapid rehousing, and the prevention and diversion team. We also run a food pantry. We also offer career coaching. We have licensed therapists. So we have a counseling team where they meet with our clients and they offer free counseling services. As a lot of our families, a lot of our clients, as they're transitioning, they're making their way out of being homeless into permanent housing or into some kind of transitional housing. But with that comes often trauma and a number of things like domestic violence or losing a job or something else that is that would require them or that they are seeking mental health services. All of our services are free of charge. So once a family becomes a client of ours, then our clients are able to utilize all of these services: housing, food pantry, career coaching, counseling, prevention. And we also have our annual seasonal programs, which include our back to school events, our Thanksgiving, and our holiday seasonal program, our Adopt a Family program. Since the pandemic, the rise in unemployment has struck families even further. To this day, during the pandemic, we continue to serve families that are homeless or on the verge of becoming homeless. Our food pantry has been open this whole time, even during the pandemic. The food pantry is open to any family or any individual that is seeking some kind of food assistance. And this here, just to give you a glimpse of pre and during COVID-19, this will just show you that the requests for services have gone up during the pandemic. So over 2,100 calls that have been coming in during the pandemic. This year was more for the fiscal year 2020 to 2021 versus pre-pandemic, where there were roughly 1,600 phone calls. And then in the year 2018, there were roughly 770 phone calls. So that just shows the magnitude of what this pandemic has done as far as families that are very low income, homeless or not, but they are calling just trying to get any kind of supportive services, looking for affordable housing, looking for shelters, transitional housing, rental assistance. As far as our prevention and diversion team, we have a team of family navigators that work for the prevention and diversion team. And during the pandemic, we had roughly 2,046 requests for prevention services that would include emergency rental assistance, and roughly 1,042 did qualify or did receive some form of emergency rental assistance. This here shows in comparison to before the pandemic, where we had roughly 1,400 requests, and we helped roughly 382 families with emergency rental assistance or other forms of prevention and diversion. The last chart here will just illustrate our client services. So for affordable housing and for our family navigator team, during the pandemic, we've had a huge increase of services that families were seeking. Like I had mentioned, our mission here at Families Forward is to work with homeless families that are looking for a number of services. So counseling, employment, they're looking for affordable housing, they're looking for other supportive services that can really help them transition and get back into some form of stable housing. So a lot of our families have been requesting and utilizing a lot of our services that our family navigators and our affordable housing team, what they do. We have family navigators that, aside from providing the emergency rental assistance from our prevention team, they also provide a number of other resources. So if, let's say, we have a client that is looking for food pantries, employment agencies, looking for rapid rehousing, looking for shelter, looking for school uniforms. So our family navigators, they're able to provide all of those resources to their clients, aside from just providing the emergency rental assistance. That has been the case going on since the pandemic, where it's been a number of things. Childcare, for example, that's a huge one where a number of our clients, they want to work, but they're having some, they're facing some challenges with childcare. They're facing challenges with education or lack of education. So we have a team that provides all of these comprehensive services as a way to mobilize and empower our clients so that they can achieve self-sufficiency. Since the pandemic, from October 2020 through September of 2021, we've been able to house over 200 families. We have various partnerships, relationships with property management companies, Irvine Company, share apartment communities. We also have partnerships with private landlords. We have a team of housing resource specialists here at Families Forward, and our housing resource specialists, one of the primary responsibilities of theirs is to make that, to create that relationship, to outreach, to network with private landlords, to network with property managers, trying to convince them, and so that they can help a number of our clients, a number of our homeless families, where they could have, where they can get stable housing. So even during the pandemic, where it has been more challenging, we have grants, we have funding where we've also been able to really focus on expanding our partnerships with multiple stakeholders. So since the pandemic, with our food pantry, we've been able to serve over 20,000 families, roughly 82,000 individuals with our food pantry. So our food pantry is open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Anyone is welcome to stop by to pick up a box of food. We also have a diaper bank. It's once a month. So we're able to provide as much needed services. And we also have partnerships with other organizations where we can refer our clients, refer our families for additional resources such as clothing, shoes, hygiene, laundry, anything else that our families are in need of. We can make that referral and connect them to those services. Ways to get involved here at Families Forward. So we have a team of volunteers that volunteer their time here at Families Forward. And a number of ways, like I had mentioned, is with our back to school event, our Thanksgiving, our Adopt a Family programs, our back to school events. We also hold donation drives. Our volunteers also help out with our food pantry that we have. So there's always a way for anyone to get involved here at Families Forward who would like to volunteer of their time. A little bit about our back to school event. So with our back to school event, we provide school backpacks. We provide a number of back to school school supplies. children from grades K through 12, so from kinder through all the way through high school. We're able to provide them with all of the resources that they will need to thrive academically. In 2020, during the course of the pandemic, or in the first year of the pandemic, we were able to help almost 500 families, so about 800 children. We were able to help with back to school, with getting them school backpacks, to school uniforms, to school supplies, anything that the children, that the students would need to succeed. And a bit about our Thanksgiving program, or our Thanksgiving food basket. We do provide our Thanksgiving baskets to our clients and their families in order to ensure that they are able to celebrate Thanksgiving with their loved ones. In 2020, we were able to provide 800 Thanksgiving baskets to 800 families. And then lastly, we have our Adopt a Family program that we hold every year. So every year we get a number of families, a number of clients that have requests or that would like to get adopted. And just in 2020 alone, we were able to help 1,900 children that were able to receive gifts. We have a number of volunteers, private donors. We have a number of people that want to give back, or that would like to help adopt a family during the holidays. And that right there is a little bit about what we do here at Families Forward. Now, I will go ahead and take this time to transition to our career program. And I'm going to introduce our career coaches in a bit. If you have any questions about Families Forward, you can go ahead and ask at the very end once we are done with presenting on the career program. And that way we can just go ahead and jump right into to this short video that I would like to share. And please let me know if you can hear the video.
Hi, good morning, Lisa. How are you?
You can hear it.
Cool, thanks.
I'm doing well. Hi. Oh, good, great. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today. My name is Araceli. I'm going to be part of your team, and I'm going to be operating as your career coach.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit about what we do and how we can help you. Our main objective is to help you and your family increase income in the household. Are you currently working?
Not currently, no, but I do want to get a job.
Okay, excellent, great, we can help you with that. So what we do is we'll look at your past employment history, and we'll try to come up with creative ways to help you, one, find employment, and two, increase income in the household. And we can do that by introducing you to training opportunities, quick turnaround, 8-hour training opportunities, 1-week opportunities. And then once you're settled with an employer, we can look at possibly continuing your education if that's something that you were interested in.
Yeah, right now I just need to find a job.
Well, then let's help you with that. What I'd like to do is schedule a career assessment with you. Those take about 45 minutes to an hour. It just really depends on your questions. In the assessment, we'll cover all of your experience, employment history, salary history, education skills. We'll help you create a resume if we need to, mock interviews, that sort of stuff. And then we'll discuss some short-term and long-term goals as well, and end our assessment with a budget. How does that sound?
That sounds good. Thanks for helping me, yeah.
Excellent. Let's get that scheduled. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Okay, so now that we've updated your resume, we can upload it to the Indeed account that we created.
Okay.
so we can get started on your job search. But first, I'd like to show you some tips and tricks on how to apply for jobs on your own.
That would be great. And then I could show other people, like my husband and my son.
Yes, take the tools. They're going to be with you for a lifetime. So Lisa, you mentioned in our assessment that you were interested in warehouse jobs. Here's some leads that you can review on your own and apply.
Okay.
In the meantime, I will be reaching out to employer partners we have in the community to try and create some opportunities for you.
That'd be great.
Good. Since we're starting to apply for positions, I think it'd be good if we scheduled a mock interview.
A mock interview, what's that? That sounds kind of scary.
So in the mock interview, we'll just review do's and don'ts and how to answer questions appropriately.
Okay, that sounds good.
Great. Hi, Lisa?
Yeah, hi, it's me.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. I have great news. Yeah, I went for the job interview and I can start.
Oh my God, that's excellent news. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. You really helped me get prepared with the mock interview. But this is the thing. I need to have some special heavy duty boots so that I don't get hurt. Is that something you could help me with?
Absolutely, yes. Just send me the information on the boots and I can put in the request for you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Hi, Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How's the job working out?
It's great, I love it. It's long hours, but I'm making money, so that's good. My supervisor, she's really good, and she told me that I'm doing such a good job, but I could make more money if I did, maybe if I got some more training, and she thought maybe I'd be good at forklift driving, but I don't have money for that training. Is that something you can help me with?
Yeah, is that something that you want to do?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Well, let's get together and get you connected to forklift training. There's a couple agencies that I've worked with in the past. Maybe we can get you signed up with one of them.
Oh, okay, that would be good, thank you. Hey, Araceli, this is Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I wanted to tell you that I finished my 1 week, 40-hour forklift training a couple of weeks ago, and I've been working as a forklift driver, and I really like it. And the best thing is I went from making $15 an hour when I started a few months ago to now making $17 an hour, and that's really helping my family. And so thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing this great news. Do I have your permission to share it with the rest of the team?
Yes, please do. And I thank you and Families Forward for helping me.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, so I just wanted to share that video for what our amazing group of career coaches do for their clients. So I'm gonna go ahead and now pass the mic on to Araceli, who will go ahead and take over. I'm gonna go ahead and see how I can make you the host, Araceli.
Do you mind just, I'll tell you next slide as we
Okay,
go along.
all right, yeah.
Just easier than trying to figure it out.
Okay, cool.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed that video. It's kind of quirky, but it does show real life, kind of a day in the life of a client and the services that we offer. Starting off by completing an assessment. An assessment is really where we get to know our client, meet them where they're at, understand what their goals are, and we help them break it up in pieces step by step so that it's more manageable and their goal is more attainable. So we're really with them from the beginning all the way to the end, and like to celebrate the wins throughout it. And then essentially like to see them land a good position where they're at least in the trajectory to be able to become not financially independent, but be able to cover their monthly expenses and rent, which is most importantly to come out of homelessness. We are a in-house career service program, meaning that we are only able to provide our services to our clients that are connected and matched to one of our housing programs. So I did want to give information on how we connect. So any family that is at risk of homelessness or who is literally homeless can be matched to Families Forward by either contacting our main office at the number listed there. They will connect with one of our volunteers. Our front desk is fully run by volunteers. A volunteer will complete a Yespadat with them, put them in the queue, and then depending on the score that they receive on the Yespadat, will determine and then where they're at also in Orange County will determine what agency is best suited for them, considering the services that they need, and like I said, the level and score that they receive on the Yespadat. But there's also an easier way, just by clicking on the link that's provided there. They'll be completing an online questionnaire, same that they would if they were to call in directly. But that is a second way to be able to be matched to one of our programs. Next slide. Thank you, Luis. So we do work with homeless families that are literally homeless, but we do also work with our clients that are justice impacted. Those are definitely sprinkled in. But we noticed that some of the barriers that they face is very similar to our homeless families. One of them being a huge one is education, right? Not having a high school diploma or a GED. So we do partner with organizations in the community that can offer an online program or a hybrid program, whatever the client can access or whatever best suits them. So we do like to introduce them into education opportunities. We have partnerships with trade schools, as well as make sure to connect to the EOP Center at any traditional community colleges. Those are super important, mainly because some of the clients, majority of them will qualify for Title B funding, which is training dollars. So a lot of the educational opportunities that we present to them are typically free, which is amazing. Childcare is a major barrier for all of our families. I think even families that aren't, experiencing homelessness. So we do also partner with several actually, organizations that help provide childcare. Access to technology is a major one. We do have a specific grant that we're able to tap into to purchase laptops for clients. Remote work is huge, especially now during the pandemic. A lot of companies have shifted over to remote work. So being able to provide that type of equipment to our clients so that they can apply for those jobs and basically hit the ground running. But it is a major barrier. And then of course, clients that do come to us with a heavy criminal background, that is a barrier that our clients face as well. Next slide. Thank you. So one of the great services that we offer in-house as well is our counseling team, our licensed therapist. A lot of our justice impacted clients do struggle with depression. There's that stigma of culture shock. Constant rejection from employers can really, really unmotivate a client, an individual, and wanting to move forward in their job search. So connecting them to our counseling team so that they can address those issues and start working through that trauma is really important. We really go at the pace of the client. Our jobs are not to overwhelm them and have them having a high expectation of coming into the program and immediately start focusing on their job search. We take it step by step. And most importantly, it's addressing any mental health issues that they have. Next. think I'm gonna turn it over to Beatrice. She'll complete the next 2 slides.
Hello, everyone. So as Araceli had mentioned, some of our clients that we do support with is our justice impacted clients. With that being said, we currently support them by referring them to certain resources and agencies that can create a little more opportunity, since the majority of the families that we are serving are more specific to our homeless. But there is a program, as you're seeing here, some of the programs that we connect them to. Our employment agencies are a big deal for us. Our employer partners, as you'll hear a little bit about how big of an impact our employer partners are for not only our justice impacted clients, but our homeless clients. And really connecting them to low barrier jobs. Obviously, if there is criminal background, there is trauma and other things that come into play for our clients. We want to connect them to the appropriate job connections that can make them successful in order for them to meet their goal, increase that income, and get them on the way to stable housing as well. Next slide, thank you. So our true focus overall is employment partnership. It's really big for us. We want to get our clients in, make them feel secure with their resume building, as you saw in the video, the mock interviews, really bringing up that confidence in order to connect them to the outside world. As many of you may have remembered back in the day, doing an interview can really take you in a whole different type of roller coaster. And our clients do struggle with stuff like that. So really successful interviewing is one of the things we want to focus on. Better resume building, increasing confidence in the employment process, and support stable living and income. And with that is right now our career program is focusing on working with other employment partners, other agencies, job agencies that are willing to work with interviewing, maybe letting us know that they're looking for a specific type of client that we can make that transition successful. Kind of be the middle person in that relationship building in order to make our clients feel like there is hope in that employment process. Next slide. So as I had mentioned, this is our contact information. We are located in Irvine. Our phone number and our link is there. We are currently working remotely, but there is still some back and forth office support that we're in there as well. There's always someone available. Our front office is always available to take phone calls, questions, concerns. And does anyone have any questions for us?
Awesome, thank you so much for your presentation, Families Forward. We do have a question, Arturo.
Yes, thank you. Is the food bank located in Irvine?
Yes, it's
yes.
the address that we gave you at the bottom. It's definitely on our on-site office.
Okay, wonderful. And then I had another question also. Are there any justice involved folks with certain backgrounds, crimes that you guys will not work with or help house?
I can answer that. No, the family is matched based on their homelessness status, not by their criminal background. So absolutely not.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Can you put your the address for your office in the chat box? I know it was Irvine, but that way other people can access it a little bit more easy. And
Yeah,
then
sure.
also share, maybe if you want to share a flyer or your slide deck, so that way we can share it in the meeting recap for people. And then Danny has a question.
Yeah, is it only mothers and fathers with children, or do you help individuals? You help individuals?
Great question. So here at Families Forward, being Families Forward, we only work with families that have children 0 to 17. So that would be, it could be a mother or a father or a caregiver that has a child in custody child that's 0 to 17. We do not work with just individuals. So they can still call the front desk, and one of our volunteers will provide sort of like 211. One of our volunteers will provide a number of referrals for individuals either seeking shelter or seeking transitional living.
Okay, so if I have a mother with a child like under the age of 17 and she needs help, do we just contact you at your foundation and then, or do we need a referral to work with you guys?
Yeah, so great question. So she will need to call Families Forward, and one of our volunteers will fill out the client profile form, and then we'll submit it. And if that family is an appropriate match, depending on where they live in Orange County, along with other factors, if they're matched to us as the housing service provider, then one of our team members will go ahead and reach out to the mother. But the mother would have to call at Families Forward to fill out the client profile form.
And then you'll be able to, how quick is like, you know, because I'm out there in the community and I come across people all the time. And how fast of a process is it if I have a woman with a kid or a father even that needs some kind of services as far as housing goes? Do you just refer them into a shelter, or just for the, I mean, how long does that process take?
And yeah, so with the process, so once we get that information from the family, then one of our case managers will go ahead and reach out. Normally, it's within about 3 to 5 business days. We do our very best to reach out to that family that's homeless, like ASAP. But right now, from what I'm hearing, it's taking about on average 3 days or so to make that initial contact for the intake screening. In the meantime, that family can call 211. Or that family can call Families Forward, and our volunteer can provide phone numbers and information to emergency shelters. And then from there, that's where hopefully the family would be able to find bedding at any of the shelters here in Orange County.
So you guys would be able to give a direct, because the shelters I know that only work on a referral basis, because they're like, you can't just show up there and then expect to get in. So we need to have a referral in order to get them in there. Are you guys able to get the referral, or is the referral through 211?
So the referral, that right there would be through a 211. However, just to let you know that the family can actually vouch for themselves, and the family can actually call a number of these shelters, request shelter or ask questions and get information as far as if they have any bedding available. So shelters like Human Options, WTLC, Family Promise, Thomas House, they can actually call, but they will need to fill out a registration. Then from there, they would need to do an assessment. Once they're assessed based on their status and like what are some of the things that are going on, then if there is bedding available, then that's when the family will get notified.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Good questions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very quick question. If we have a parolee who's food insecure, who just comes to the parole office, can they access your food bank, or do they have to be a client of yours to use the food bank?
Great question. Anyone can show up to our food bank.
Oh, great.
It's not just limited to clients.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you give a certain date as to when the food bank days are?
Monday through Thursday, from 10 to 2.
I'll put it in the chat box, but it's Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Thank you. Awesome, thank you. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. I know we're a few minutes over, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just briefly go through some updates. Danny, as I said at the beginning, Danny and I, we went in at the beginning of February inside Theo Lacey. Next month, I believe I'm going in with Quan, who you see in that picture there. If you remember Quan, he was our ROI speaker a year and a half ago, I think. Everything's COVID related. So glad to get him inside. And then just, you know, the flyer that we're handing out inside the jails is getting bigger, so more resources. The guys and gals are both really enjoying learning more about them from specifically a different person, right? Other than the other individuals that go inside there. So they're hearing the story and then hearing more resources that they can access. Jennifer, I'll let you.
Thank you. Really, really, really fast. So please attend our March PAC meeting. If you don't already have it on your schedule, it's Wednesday, March 9th. It's always the second Wednesday of the month. We'll be in person in April, knock on wood. The very next day is our Women's Empowerment meeting, and we are so lucky to have Lisa is our coordinator for the women's meeting. She pretty much runs the whole thing. I'm just there like a bump on a log. And then we have Project Kinship still coming to the parole office every week. Unfortunately, the past few weeks it was suspended because of COVID, but we're back open. So Project Kinship is back at the parole office, I think starting next week. But you can email me or call me with any of these questions. Thank you. Thank you, Megan.
Awesome, thank you. And that's it. Our next meeting is March 30th from same time, 10 to 11:30. You can come in person or you can join by Zoom, whatever is easiest for you. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Families Forward, for sharing all the great services that you're providing to families in Orange County. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you, Ellie, again. So I will make sure that I include everything in the meeting recap. And I hope everyone has a great day and hope we can all connect offline. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, everyone.